Northwestern conquers Penn State and they get a win on the road, which, is really, really hard to do in the Big Ten, but they were able to make it happen. They were down quite a bit in this game, but obviously they came storming back. They were able to make the plays that needed to be made, so that way they could come back and win this one. They were down by 8 points at the half, and then in the second half, they had, I think, a 15-0 run that really gave them the lead, and they never really relented from there. Boo Buie had a good game. 17 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists, just filling up the box score there as you do expect for Boo Buie to do. But all in all, this was just a resilient Northwestern team who was able to come back on this Penn State team. Kanye Clary is obviously a wonderful player. Ace Baldwin struggled a bit in this one from time to time. I wouldn't say he was bad, but 6, 3, and 5, not what you want from Ace Baldwin in order to get a win here. Burke, what were your thoughts on the Northwestern win over Penn State?
Oh, my thoughts were the refs, man. The refs. That freaking free throw.
Yeah.
That he missed it. He missed it the best possible way you can miss it. That wasn't a lane violation. He timed his race to the rim perfectly too.
And did you hear they said he stepped in the paint before it hit the rim?
Yeah, no,
His
and then it wasn't even close. Yeah, I think it was across the free throw line, but man, he timed it so well that he was in stride heading towards the basket. But even better, the ball, the way it bounced out right to the open shooter, they were ready to go for the three that they were looking for.
Yeah,
and that just sucks that they didn't get the opportunity to take it. And of course, it was at the hands of Northwestern. Like that happens. I mean. Just end game shenanigans, man. I still take it personally. That push off Boo Buie had on Trey Galloway to seal that win in Assembly Hall. Like, man, that stuff sticks with a guy. And hey, credit to the Northwestern team. They are playing great. Like Boo Buie, he's incredible. He truly is. And while they do have role players for sure compared to Chase Aldige, but. Yeah, they're putting it together. You said they had that stride where they had like 13 points or so.
I think it was a 15-0 run they had in the second.
Yeah. The way that kicked off, man. The what kicked the brakes on the whole situation. That technical to Mike Rhodes. Yeah. That was gutting as well. Like he threw a baby fit on the side, but that's what coaches do in college basketball.
I didn't think it
was they pout, they whine, they fit. No, unless you're touching somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, that just hit the skids on everything. Northwestern comes back, and of course, just Penn State was lost until Kanye Clary was able to finally get the lid back off the bucket, and
he's pretty good at that.
He is a nice piece they've got there, and then just sorry for Penn State and the way that ended for you.
Yeah, well, I think Boo Buie is another one of those players like Alec was talking about that you're going to be glad when he plays his last game in your arena because he's been very good, and I'm not even as high on him as some other people are. I think he's a very good player, but he's definitely one that's been around for a long time and done some nasty work to a few teams, and it's like, okay, we're going to be glad when you're out of here. Alec, what were your thoughts on the Northwestern win over Penn State?
Yeah, I mean, I just hate, I guess as a blanket statement, I hate when players make some really savvy and great plays and the officials just kind of like look past it and don't see it. It always sucks to see, and unfortunate that it happened to Penn State. But yeah, Kanye Clary has been extremely impressive. I wasn't expecting this from him, but he's been really good so far. And yeah, in my opinion, Boo Buie is kind of like Trae Young, where he's like really good at just getting a little bit of a move to he'll lean into the defender a little bit, and then I'll be like, oh no, I drew a foul, and then they'll give him a whistle. I feel like I see this at least twice a game where he he's such a great guy in the paint, especially when he gets his floater. But the way he gets it is, he'll drive in and then stop, give you a little bit of a forearm, and then he'll just put up an uncontested floater. But yeah, I mean, what a win for Northwestern. I think they really have some nice guys. Ty Berry, if he can keep hitting threes like this, I think this team has a really good second guy. Langport didn't have the best game, but he's shown that he can stripe it too from the outside. And Brooks Barnhizer is just a go-to guy. Another guy, like you mentioned, these role players that can really play well. And I mean, Northwestern, I think I don't not terribly high on them so far. I don't know if they're one of those top 5 teams in the conference, but I mean, if they can put together some really good shooting performances, they got a shot.
Well, and one of the most interesting things about Northwestern is, they start those 4 guards, Barnhizer, Langborg, Bowie, and Barry. And really the guys they bring off the bench are forwards and Nicholson, the center. So it's really, really interesting when you get into the rotation stuff and how this team attacks you. And when you start off the game that way and then they start subbing, and it really is just a difficult team once they get to sub in and once they start to do their thing to try and defend. I mean, their guards, Barnhizer played 36 minutes, Barry played 35, Bowie played 36, and then Langborg played 30. So they're in there a lot, but they do switch in and out, and it's interesting to see how those things happen. I think at the end of the day, Penn State, I think Mike Rhodes has a really good future with these guys. Wahab, got some more rebounds in this one, had a double-double, 13 points, 10 rebounds as well. So I think Mike Rhodes has a good team here. I just think, especially in the Big Ten, bringing in as many transfers as he did and kind of resetting your team. I'm not trying to say that, the Big Ten is the toughest conference. I do think it's probably one of the top 3. Personally, I would put it second. But at the end of the day, like, the physicality and the playing at the very tough arenas that it is, guys tend to need a season to kind of get used to it before they can get to it. And I think we're going to see that with Penn State. I think this Penn State team is going to come back next year. And kind of like we were talking about with Rutgers, Alex, is they're kind of building off this year for next year. And it's kind of looking forward to that a little bit and saying, let's build off what we see that was good here, moving on from there. Burke, do you have any thoughts about Mike Rhodes and just what he's doing with this Penn State team? Are you high on him? Are you kind of low on him? What are your thoughts?
I don't know, because this Penn State team seems so like 2 different squads at some times. I think he'll figure it out. I just want Penn State to have a coach they can keep. Like, it just seems like they just are either terrible enough they get fired or good enough they move on immediately. And here's hoping that they found a good one with him.
I hope they do too, because Penn State basketball, I think the fans are good over there, and I think they are hungry for something like that. So, thanks for listening to the Big Ten Huddle. Please do like and subscribe. We appreciate that. If this was your first time listening, we are the Big Ten Huddle. We cover all things Big Ten football and basketball. We have a long episode every Sunday, Tuesday, and Wednesday night, all at 9 o'clock. So come in, check us out, get in the chat, let us know what you're thinking. We would love to have you join us and learn more about the Big Ten.